Hey people, gonna do another recipe this week to pair with Sarah's choice of wine. Um, Obviously, if you're seeing this, you already looked at her Instagram post so you can see which wine this pairs with. I'm just gonna do very simple um, meatball marinara, aka spaghetti meatballs, classic Italian, maybe more now American Italian dish. Keep it real simple. I'll quickly run through my ingredients with you, so you can have a check, and then come back some other time and cook it. So for the sauce, we got some diced garlic. In here, I've got a teaspoon of dried oregano, a teaspoon of dried thyme, a teaspoon of brown sugar, a teaspoon of salt, a good amount of fresh black pepper, a pinch of chili. Now I'm hoping my kids are going to eat this. If it was just for me, there'd be a lot more chili in there. In fact, what I'd probably do if it was just for me is I would have a couple of dried chilies simmering in the sauce as it's cooking. Got a pan with some oil on here. Got one jar of passata, so you get the nice smooth tomato side. And I've got a tin of chopped tomatoes. There is a chance I'm going to whiz this up at the end, but I'm hoping that the texture between the two works out nicely. That's going to be for our sauce. In fact, we can start the sauce now. In this pan, just got some oil on a nice low, just above low heat. It's like the easiest sauce ever. It's a classic. I've seen versions where people try and add more to them. This is never as good as the real simple version. So get your garlic in here. Well, I expected a bit more of a sizzle then. Get that heat up. You want to get some colour on the garlic. While that's coming up to heat, I'll tell you what we got for the meatballs. If you want to do shot bought, I'm not going to judge you, but I'm going to make my own meatballs. Got 500 grams of beef mince here. I know some people like to mix up their mince, like pork mince and beef mince, turkey mince. If you want to make it vegan, vegetarian, there are methods using textured vegetable protein or soy mince, etc. There's also really, really good vegan meatballs that you can buy. I've got some in my freezer. We've got 2 small red onions diced up. I've got a lot of red onions in my house right now. I probably would use white onion normally, but I have no idea why I have so many red onions, so I'm going to use it for this. I've got 3 teaspoons of toasted fennel seeds. I guess they're optional. Not everyone likes fennel, but I'm kind of going for that Italian sausage flavour. I've got my choice of herb here is fresh oregano. Why is that not coming up to heat? Come on. There you go. Come on. I got fresh oregano. It's one of my favourite herbs, and I always buy it when I see it. You could use fresh parsley here, you could use basil, but I think the combination of fresh oregano and toasted fennel seeds is magic. Here's a little secret ingredient style. Rather than breadcrumbs, I know this looks gross, but in here I've got 1 slice of thick white bread, crust taken off, and they've been sat in, I'd say, a 1/4 cup of milk, just enough milk to soak into the bread without it being liquidy. That's what's going to keep our meatballs sticking together. Other than that, I've got a load of Parmesan because it's the greatest cheese in the world. Alright, garlic's frying. Okay, now we can go. Garlic's frying. Some people would add fresh basil to this at the start, and I understand why. Basil's an amazing ingredient, amazing flavour, but my thing is that for me, nothing beats the taste of fresh basil, so I would much rather put it on the end, and instead I'm going to use thyme and oregano. So I guess they've been sizzling about a minute. I know I put it in earlier, but the heat wasn't ready. So I'm going to add in my fresh thyme. No, not fresh thyme. My brain today. Quarantine's getting to me, man. It's getting to me. Now I'm going to add my thyme, oregano, chili flakes, salt, sugar, pepper. And it's instantly going to smell amazing. We're only keeping that frying in there now for, I don't know, maximum a minute, 30 seconds. Some of the garlic is like nicely caramelizing, some of it isn't. That colour of the garlic's going to give us like a deep garlic flavour in the sauce. So I'm literally going to have it in there about that long. Well, maybe a touch longer. Let me crank that heat up a second. No, we're good. I'm going to add both my tomatoes. Ah, that's a good noise. It's basically our sauce done. I'm going to bring this up to heat, get it boiling, keep it on like a low rolling boil for a bit. Basically what I mean by that is when it's boiling, I'm going to get it down to like just below medium so that it keeps a constant bubble on it. And then we're going to stick a lid on it and simmer it so that it doesn't thicken up too much. But for now I want some good heat on it. Right, while that's doing that, meatball mix. Not just because of Corona, I wash my hands a lot anyway, so I'm not scared of using my hands and getting stuck in something like this. It's this simple, right? All the ingredients I said: your mince, your onions, your fennel seeds, fresh oregano, and weird red milk mix guy into one big bowl. Most of this parmesan I'm going to save for the end, but I like to put a good handful into the meatball mix as well. Then we're going to get a real good sprinkling of pepper in. We're going to go in with salt. Oh, and over here I've got a very heavily salted pan of water going for the spaghetti. Alright, everything's in there. Get your hands and get in there. Don't be scared. Just wash your hands after. You should have been washing your hands before anyway. Don't know who wasn't washing their hands. But yeah, just mix it up as good as you can. You can do this, you know, like I said, that water's ready for spaghetti. That sauce is bubbling. It's all going to come together perfectly so that when the meatballs are finished, the sauce is finished, and the spaghetti's ready. We'll stick it on a plate and we're off. And my kids will probably interrupt me before I manage to get it onto a plate. Alright, Giddy, you can speed up this bit. Okie doke. Meatball mix is done. Sauce is going away. What I'm going to do here, which I recommend you do, because everyone's palate's different. Don't worry, I wash my hands and I don't have to wash them again. Just get a tiny little patty. My oil's on. Get that in the pan. Fry it each side a couple of minutes. Obviously it's very small, so it doesn't need a lot of cooking on it. Taste it. See if it's to your taste. You know, we've all got different taste buds. Gives you a chance to adjust so you know that they're going to be perfect when they come out. In the meantime, I'm going to get my spaghetti in. Has anyone ever figured out how much spaghetti you're supposed to give people? Well, I've never ever figured it out. I've learned to cook a lot of things. Never ever figured out how much spaghetti for one person. This is for my boys for now, so I don't even know. As I'm doing that, it seems excessive. Doesn't look enough. It probably is. I'm just gonna put too much on, like I always do. Well, good job, me. Well done. That's enough, right? Yeah. Alright, little taster, guys, almost ready. Sauce smells amazing. At this point, what I'm going to do with the sauce, I'm going to get this lid on just a jar. Not all the way. I don't want it to thicken too much. I want to keep that just on a low simmer. Meatballs, quick sip of tea. Remember tea. Meatballs. Again, these will be for my kids, so they roll really easily. You know, there's no problems there. I know some people put egg in their meatball mixture, but I find it just makes it a bit too liquidy. The milk and bread trick really does work a treat. So I'm going to split it between my boys. So I'm going to get 5 meatballs in. Pasta's in. I think I might give my sauce a little blend. Don't necessarily have to. Again, I'm kind of doing it because I'm doing it for my kids. They're fussy. So if I just blend it into a sauce where they can't tell what's in it, they're more likely to eat it. Okay, so meatballs are almost done. All I've really done is just keep turning them around, make sure they caramelize nicely around there. They're not the biggest meatballs in the world, so they should be just about finishing in the pan now. I'll test my spaghetti. As I said, I'm going to blend my sauce so that my kids will eat it and not ask what's in it. If I wasn't making it for my kids, probably wouldn't. It's going to taste nice either way. Depends how you like your sauce. Some people are fussy. So I've got a hand blender here. If you haven't got a hand blender, put it through a food processor. If you haven't got one of them, don't worry about it. Okie dokie. Taste that sauce. Yeah. Follow my instructions on that sauce, and you're a winner. You won't have to adjust that at all. Okay, I think it's ready to serve. I guess these meatballs have been in about 7-8 minutes. On quite a decent heat. Check my pasta. Woo! 2 more minutes on the pasta. I'm going to skip this bit, Giddy. It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. Okay, everything's ready. Taking the meatballs off the heat. Get yourself your spaghetti. Get yourselves some meatballs. Get yourself some sauce. Get yourself some more sauce. Get yourself some Parmesan, best cheese in the world. Personally, if I had basil, I'd probably put it on there, but I haven't. We're going to hit it with some rocket. There it is. I don't want to tilt it too much. It's going to be delicious. Going to stick loads of pepper on it. Enjoy. Sorry that I can't speak properly. Love you, bye.